Good morning. We will start with the new chapter, Triangles, Session 1. Already you know about triangles. You know what is a triangle. A triangle is a figure formed by 3 line segments, right? So it's a polygon formed by a 3 line segments, a closed bounded figure. So in standard 9 you studied about congruency of triangles, that is, two triangles are said to be congruent if they follow certain criteria, or you can say some rules for congruency. That was about, you understood side, angle, side criteria, angle, side, angle, 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 side, 3 sides, and right angle, hypotenuse and side. Using these 3 criteria, using these few criteria, you prove the triangles are congruent. So what did we mainly observe in that? We observed that the given figures have same shape and size, right? That means the sides, the angles of a given triangle were of same shape and size. So that was all about congruency. So here in this 10th grade we will study about similarity of the figures or similarity of triangles when we talk about. Now what is the difference between a similar figure and a congruent figure? Now for example, now these two triangles are congruent. Of course yes, they are similar too. Suppose if I draw a triangle, now this is an equilateral triangle where all the sides are equal and all the angles are equal to 60 degree. I will draw another equilateral triangle, right? So are these both triangles congruent, I can tell? No. Are they looking like congruent? No, because if I name this as A, B, C, P, Q, R, of course angles are equal, but what about the sides? The sides are not equal, so they are not congruent, but they are similar. That means all similar figures have same shape, I can see, right? But different size. So similar figures have same shape but different size. Such type of figures are called as similar figures. All congruent figures are similar, but all similar figures are not congruent. I can tell now all squares are similar, right? Because all sides are equal, all angles are equal to 90 degree in a particular given square, right? All circles are similar. Angle at the center of the circle is 360 degree. So that is something between a similar figure and a congruent figure. So in 10th grade this year you will be studying more about similarity of triangle. So a given polygon, we talk about polygons only here because triangle is a polygon. A given polygon is said to be similar if they have same angles. It has to always satisfy 2 criteria here. That is, if they have same angles, that is, measure of the angle of this triangle should be equal to that triangle, and about sides, the corresponding sides should be proportional. That means ratio of this side and this side, when we see with respect to all the sides of a given triangle, they have to be proportional. So a given figure is said to be similar if they have same angles and their corresponding sides are proportional, not equal here, proportional. Now we have several theorems in this chapter about the same what I have just discussed. We also have a theorem on that. So this is about similar triangles. So basic introduction, what you have to write about a similar triangle. A small PDF will be sent to you. You can just write it down. I will immediately start with the first exercise. Nothing. I will be just giving a small definition about a similar triangle. What you have to just draw. 2 figures are said to be similar if their angle measures the same and their corresponding sides are proportional. This thing what I will do, I will send you all in the PDF. So you can just start the chapter, write that and quickly begin with the exercise. First exercise is very simple, children. Just take a pencil in your hand and go on marking that in your textbook. Later you can copy that in your notes. Fill in the blanks using correct word given in the brackets. All circles are, two options are given, congruent and similar. So all circles are similar because we never know what are the radii of the given circle, right? So all circles are similar. Second one, all squares are similar. Then third one, all dash triangles are similar. All equilateral triangles are similar. Again, they are the same examples what we have discussed just now. Fourth one, two polygons of the same number of sides are similar if A part, their corresponding angles are equal. Same angle, that means corresponding angles are equal. This angle should be equal to this. This angle should be equal to this. This angle should be equal to this. Corresponding angles are equal. B part, their corresponding sides are proportional, not equal. If the corresponding sides are equal, then they become congruent figure, which we are not studying. So corresponding sides should be proportional. Now what do you mean by proportional sides? First of all, if I have to tell you, when I talk about this triangle and this triangle, AB, proportionality is always given by the ratio, one upon the other. Upon PQ is equal to AC upon PR is equal to BC upon QR. This is proportionality, one over the other when we check. Next one, give two different examples of pair of similar figures. You can make a note there and then children. Can you give me example of pair of similar figures? A pair of equilateral triangle, can I tell? Yes, they are similar. A pair of square, can I tell? Yes, they are similar. Fine. Pair of circles you can write. Next one. Give two different they have given. You can say pair of equilateral. Don't give pair of triangles. Pair of triangles will not be similar. Pair of equilateral triangles. Pair of square you can give. Then second one, non-similar figure. You can give an example of a triangle and a square, a circle and a square. Anything can be non-similar figure. How can a circle be equal to a square? Or how can a triangle be equal to a circle? So these are non-similar figures. Anything of your choice. I repeat once again. Give two different examples of pair of similar figures. You can say a pair of equilateral triangle, a pair of square. A non-similar figure, a triangle and a circle, and square and a triangle can be an example. State whether the following quadrilaterals are similar or not. Now, if you identify these two types of quadrilateral, can you name these quadrilaterals first? The first one is rhombus. How did I know that it is a rhombus? Because they have given all the sides equal to 1.5. Therefore, when all the sides are equal, it can be a square also, no children, but angles are not marked. So, the first figure is a rhombus. Look at the second figure. Along with the sign, they have marked this perpendicular thing, right? That is why it is a square. Can a rhombus and square be equal? Now, their corresponding sides can be proportional, but their corresponding angles are never equal. If it was equal, then it would have been called a square only. Why? Because in rhombus, opposite angles are equal. Properties should be known what you have studied in standard 9. So, what you can just write here, I'll dictate this, you can write it down because there is nothing much what I can solve on the board. State whether the following quadrilaterals are similar or not. The following quadrilaterals are not similar since, first one being, since it is a rhombus and a square, the corresponding angles are not equal, only the corresponding sides are proportional. Check if you want. 1.5 by 3, 1.5 by 3. Everywhere the corresponding sides are proportional. Simple. Given the answer, no. The given quadrilaterals are not similar because their corresponding angles are not equal. That's all. So with that we complete this exercise, right? But not today's session. Today's session we will complete by proving a very important theorem which is called as basic proportionality theorem. The whole similarity of a triangle. What we discussed deal with basis on that. So basic proportionality theorem, in short we also read it as BPT, or it is also called as Thales theorem, because it was Thales who had derived this theorem. So it is basic proportionality theorem, very important. Usually it is asked in the examination, state and prove BPT, state and prove basic proportionality theorem, right? So the statement as well as the proving part is very, very important. So you can make a note of this theorem. We will start with this. Prove that if a line is drawn, I will write the theorem on the board. A simple and an important theorem. Yeah, one more thing what I would like to tell here is, in this chapter we deal with, hope you remember while solving congruency I had told you all, in congruency part we only deal with the criteria where at least one side is involved, right? So when the sides are not involved, when it only comes to the angles are equal, that comes a condition. That is what we study in standard 10th, that is in similarity, where we prefer the angles. If all the angles are equal, the condition is that the triangle is similar. So first one, the theorem, what you can give the heading as basic proportionality theorem. So in bracket you can also write this as BPT. So it states that a statement is very important, children, and it has to be written the same what is given in your textbook. You cannot jot down in your own words here. Then you tell I have written the same thing but they have not given me marks, because it has to be written what it is actually given. If a line is drawn, first we'll write, then I'll explain what it is. If a line is drawn parallel to one side of a triangle to intersect the other two sides. If a line is drawn parallel to one side of a triangle to intersect the other two sides in distinct points, the other two sides are divided in the same ratio. In the same ratio. In simple terms, if I have to explain this is, if a line is drawn parallel to a side of a triangle, yeah, now what we'll do is, statement you all will write. I will run the statement because I need the whole thing to prove the theorem, that's what. So I'll explain what this theorem means, then we'll do it neatly. What this theorem tells us, if a line is drawn parallel to a side of a triangle. So parallel to a side means any side. If I have to choose this as a side, then where should I draw parallel? Choosing any two sides of this, I will choose like this. Remember in midpoint theorem we had done, but this is not a midpoint theorem. So if a line is drawn parallel to a side of a triangle, then such that it divides the triangle in two distinct points. Of course, it can only cut in two distinct points here. Then it divides the triangle in such a way that, so A, B, C, if this is D, E, it divides the other two sides of a triangle in the same ratio. That is AD upon BD is equal to AE upon upon CE. It divides the other two sides proportionally. If a line is drawn parallel to a side of a triangle, then such that it divides other two sides of a triangle proportionally. That is what we have to prove. The condition is that whenever we have a triangle and we have a line parallel to the given triangle to one side, it is understood that the other two sides what are formed, unequal sides, of course they are, but it is proportional to these two sides. That is what we have to prove, and on the same things we have some numericals and some riders based on them. So quickly we will start. So what I will do here now is, you will give the heading as basic proportionality theorem in bracket BPT, as well as you can also write or Thales theorem. I will rub this because I require the whole board to prove this. So let's start with this. I will write in small here BPT. So let me consider a triangle. So in triangle ABC, I consider now PQ. Okay, given in triangle ABC, PQ is parallel to BC. This much is given. To prove, what we have to prove? AP upon BP is equal to AQ upon CQ. Right? As we have told, if a line is drawn parallel to a side of a triangle, it divides the other two sides proportionally. That is what we have proved here. But only with this we cannot prove. We require some construction. So what construction we will write here? Draw QL perpendicular to AD. Right? So see, it is perpendicular to AP as well as AB. If I draw, both it is understood to the whole. Draw QL perpendicular to AB and QL PM perpendicular to AC. Right? Then what we have to do also is join BQ and CP. So whenever we have a construction, we always use a dotted line to join. Is this very clear? So what we have done? Draw QL perpendicular to AB. Perpendicular to AB means perpendicular to AP also. And PM perpendicular to AC, that is nothing but perpendicular to AQ also. Now till here it is very clear. We'll start with proof. Okay. So when we have to prove about the ratio of the corresponding sides, that means we need to now take ratio of the triangles. So I will write here area of triangle APQ to area of triangle. What I will do, children, here is I will choose this part of area and I will choose this area. Okay, this triangle area, right? This part I am using first. BPQ. Now why am I not using C here? I am using first only this part. If I have to shade this, I am just showing you. This part of triangle I have used. Why not the other side? Why not this side? This side I will use during the second part of it. Okay. So don't do any designs in this. It is only for you to show that. So what I will do, I will take the ratio of areas of these two triangles, that is APQ to area of triangle BPQ is equal to. How do we find area of triangle? I will just write in bracket. Area of triangle is equal to half into base into height. This is what we have to write as a formula. Now with respect to APQ, in this triangle, half into. Now, according to that, what should be my base? With respect to, there should be some perpendicular for that base. Okay. Now, for example, for this triangle, if I consider AP as the base, for base AP, what is the perpendicular, children? QL is perpendicular into QL, correct? Divided by half BPQ. For BPQ also, base can be anything. I can also tell BP is the base, PQ is the base, or BQ is the base. But choose the base such a way that where the perpendicular lies. What is something perpendicular to BQ? Is QL perpendicular? Yes. Now you might ask me, Tisha, how QL is perpendicular? QL is lying somewhere there, but how QL comes here? Now, for example, now assume that this is one whole triangle I have drawn. Okay, so this is A and this is B and this part is Q. So here comes your P. Here comes your perpendicular L. What is height? Height is always the same. Suppose now in this room you are standing. If I measure the height from the floor to the top, it has to measure say around 11 feet, 12 feet. Okay. If I stand out just at the corner of the room and if I see height, will it change? No, right? It has to be the same. Okay, now this is a triangle. Now in triangle also there is one vertex point. From that vertex point to base, wherever you draw, the height should remain the same. That is why it is called as a height, correct? So wherever you measure, the height has to be same. So whether the height is, now see, height is what? QL. Perpendicular is always the height. Whether it is here, drawn here, or drawn here, anything which is drawn from the vertex to the base is called as a height. So height remains same for everything. So here also, for this particular triangle, I have to choose base in such a way that I should get the height as QL. So base should be BP into height is QL. Equation 1. I have written the formula. Area of triangle is equal to half base into height. Keep that as it is. Next. Again, area of triangle APQ, I will keep it as it is. I will choose the second part of triangle, that is we had taken BPQ. Now we will take CQP. Area of triangle CQP. Upper part half. Let us choose this side now. What is the side there? AQ is the base. With respect to AQ, what is perpendicular? PM is perpendicular. Divided by half. CQP. CQ is the base and what is perpendicular to CQ? PM. Equation 2. Now directly from equation 1 and 2 we cannot say they are equal. Try to recall. Now last year you had done one theorem. Triangles standing on the same base and between same parallels are equal in area. So which are the triangles here standing on same base? We know that triangle BPQ, triangle BPQ and triangle CQP are standing on same base. What is the base? PQ. And between, remember this theorem, parallelogram standing on same base between same parallels are equal in area. A parallelogram and triangle standing on same base, it's again half of that. Triangle standing on same base between same parallels are again equal in area. Triangle BPQ and CQP are standing on same base PQ and between same parallels. Now what are the parallels? PQ parallel to PC. Therefore, area of triangle BPQ is equal to area of triangle CQP. Equation 3. Now here this area is equal to this area. We proved it, right? Because this theorem we have proved it, I have written the reason here. From 1, 2 and 3, from equation 1, 2 and 3, can I tell now here, see here, half and half will get cancelled, QL and QL will get cancelled, half and half will get cancelled, PM and PM will get cancelled. What will actually remain here? AP upon BP is equal to AQ upon CQ. This is basic proportionality theorem. So what we do here, we first take the first part of a triangle and another part of a triangle with respect to the same base and try to find the ratio of those areas. Second part, again we take the same triangle and another side of a triangle and see the areas. Then we come to know that the some two triangles are standing on the same base and between same parallels. Therefore, the areas are equal. From equation 1, 2 and 3. So, when we compare that, axiom 1 you can say AP by BP is equal to AQ by CQ. This is basic proportionality theorem, that is when a line divides, when in a triangle if a line is drawn parallel to another side, in a triangle, if a line which is drawn is parallel to a side of a triangle, then it divides the other two sides proportionally. Very important theorem, children. Again and again I am telling you this. Mark it. It will usually be asked as state and prove basic proportionality theorem. We have also the converse of this theorem. Converse will usually not be asked to prove, but usually converse is asked for 1 mark only for the statement. So now I want you all to write the converse of this theorem and along with the figure. A figure is actually not required, just the converse you can write. I will put the converse on the board, you can just copy it down. The next important thing is what we have to know here is converse of basic proportionality theorem. Now what does it tell? If a line divides the two sides of a triangle in the same ratio, that is proportionally, then the line is parallel to the third side. That is, in triangle, if I know that the sides are proportional, the two sides it's proportional, if I just draw one line, I don't know whether it is parallel or no, but when a line is drawn, I see that the other two sides are proportional. If they are proportional, then the given lines are parallel. We can use this as a converse of basic proportionality theorem. The proof will not be asked, but usually the statement is asked. Write the converse of BPT. Next, corollaries of BPT. Now what do you mean by corollaries? Corollaries are something which we derive from the theorem sometimes. What else we can expect or draw or derive from the theorem? We already know that in triangle, if PQ is parallel to BC, then it divides proportionally, that is AP upon PB is equal to AQ upon QC. Along with that, also we can say that AB upon AP is equal to whole AC upon AQ. AB upon AP, the whole upon part is equal to the another whole upon the first part. Second corollary, again the whole upon second part is proportional. The sides are proportional to again whole upon the second part. So these are the corollaries of BPT which we also use in solving riders and numerical sums. With that we complete today's session. So theorem, converse, its corollaries, what you have to remember and make a note of it. So in the next session we will start an exercise based on basic proportionality theorem. Thank you. Yeah, one more important thing I would like to share with your children. As you all know, in media, news, newspaper, the things are going about, that is from 21st September onwards, the school and colleges and other education institutions will reopen. But still, all are waiting for the final guidelines to be received from the state government. So once we receive the guidelines, when and how the things have to move on, I will also be giving you all the proper information that when the classes will reopen.